Hi, I'm Lisa Creed with Fort Worth, Texas Real Estate, and this is my local business spotlight. North Tarrant County is a great place to live, play, and work. I've been selling real estate for more than 17 years, and I always love meeting new people. In this episode, I'm talking to Wendy Ezell, PLLC. We met with Wendy at her offices located in the beautiful Granite Building in Keller, Texas. Hey, and welcome to my business spotlight. Today, we're going to talk with Wendy Ezell. I'm going to share with you bits and pieces from our interview that we had just this last week. And I really enjoyed getting to meet Wendy. So let's listen and learn a little bit more about her business here in Keller. So I'm here today with Wendy Ezell. She is going to talk to us today a little bit about her firm, and they've got some great things that she's been sharing with me already. Wendy, tell us a little bit about the tax topic that we were just talking about.
Well, the tax topic we were talking about is what happens if you actually owe the IRS or have issues with the IRS. And most people have a very healthy fear of the IRS, and for good reason. So when you have an issue, most people are embarrassed or don't know who to ask. And if you call the IRS, you may indeed get 1, 2, or 3 different answers and not really know what to do. So the best thing to do is to have someone that can actually answer your questions, has been through the process before, and can help guide you through the ups and downs and give you all your options. So I know when you owe taxes, that can be a very stressful time in your life. And what you need to do and know is what your rights are with the IRS. So if you have past tax returns that need to be filed, you can file all the back tax returns and get caught up and find out actually how much you owe. Usually you imagine a lot more than might be actually owed. And sometimes you actually owe more than you can imagine. So having said that, if we have all the tax returns done, we can take that and enter into either an offer in compromise, or we could do an installment agreement so that the IRS doesn't bother you. So in order to do the installment agreement, all your tax returns have to be filed. If you're missing one, you can't get an installment agreement. And you're going to ask yourself, why is the installment agreement important? On the installment agreement, the basic idea is to get you a very low payment that you can make. And if you can make extra, that's wonderful. But we want a payment that you know you can make every single month without fail, so that the IRS doesn't do things like come and seize your bank account, which they will do if you ignored them. And that will be a letter that you get that says levy, and that's what they're going to do. So when you do the installment agreement, you have a low amount, it's manageable, and it keeps the IRS from giving you a hard time and taking your money out of your account. The installment agreement, what most people don't know is that if you do a direct debit, it saves you 0.5% on your interest, which is a bonus. And if you make 3 payments on direct debit, if you already have a lien filed against you, you can request that lien to be lifted. So there's always little things that we can do to make your life a little bit easier. So once we get you into the installment agreement, the IRS will not bother you any further, and they won't garnish your wages, and they won't take your bank account. Now, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, well, the IRS, I called them and they gave me an installment amount and they want more than I can pay per month. Well, that's still not a problem, because we can actually file additional paperwork and negotiate a lower amount if you provide us with additional information. And that would be based on your ability to pay as opposed to what the IRS is requesting on a payment on a monthly basis. So if you think about it, it really is easy to work with the IRS if you know all the tricks. So
That's great. That is some amazing information that I think a lot of people are going to really appreciate you sharing with us, and we really do thank you for sharing that information with us on the tax topic. Wendy, one of the other questions I wanted to ask you today was about your specific firm. What makes your firm a little more unique than maybe other CPA firms or accountants that people are using now?
So one of the things that makes us unique is that we're a little more holistic than most firms. So we do offer CPA services, which is tax preparation, but we also offer additional services. We can do projections, W-4 calculations, tax planning. We can go out and determine your income levels for multiple years. We also want you to have a financially healthy life, and that also entails maybe doing some planning in retirement, to making sure you're saving back enough money. But you may not be at that point. We also do counseling to help you get out of the trouble that you're in. If you are in trouble, get you back to square one, and then we can start building on top of that. Because your financial security is very important, not only to you, but into your family. And we have to take that as a priority. One of the other services that we offer is that not only are we a CPA firm, but we also have a financial planner and a lawyer here at the offices. So if you have any questions, we would like to refer those over to you, and they can help you immediately. So when you come in, we'll typically ask you about your taxes, about your goals, but we'll also ask you, do you have your basic documents, such as power of attorneys, which is medical and durable, as well as a will, because those are just as important as your tax preparation and your overall financial health. We have to have some safeguards set up so that your family can be successful and plan for the future. And all those are very important points.
So Wendy, another question that I have, and I'm sure that my subscribers are going to want to know also, are about the new changes that are coming for the new tax laws and whatnot. Tell us about that.
Well, there are going to be some serious changes next year, changes for the good. So let's go over some of the basics and start from the top. One of the big changes that are coming is that the standard deduction is going to move to $24,000 for married filing jointly. So that's going to be a great benefit to you on your tax return next year. However, you did lose all your personal exemptions. So usually for most people, that's a pretty good trade. But the couple people, if you have 5 or 6 kids, didn't make out so well on that change. Now, having said that, there are other changes in the tax brackets as well. So most people are experiencing 2 to 3% drop in their tax brackets next year. And don't forget, the kids are worth about $2,000 a piece as a credit directly against your tax liability. So having said that, and those are some of the basic changes, most of my clients, as we're doing projections for them going into 2019 and 2018, are showing that on average they're getting an additional $2,000 to $3,000 back on a refund on their taxes next year. So what we are suggesting is that you change your W-4 and put that money back into your paycheck now so you can enjoy it, and that way your refund's not quite so large next year. So if you have a need to have a projection done to calculate that amount, we'd be glad to help you with that.
So tell us how you prepare taxes here at Wendy Ezell, PLLC.
Well, thank you. We do prepare the taxes a little bit differently than some CPA firms. So we have 2 options. We have the option where you can just drop off your taxes, or we have a portal available that you can actually download taxes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at your convenience. It's a drag and drop option, and you put your tax forms in there, we download them, we start on the tax return. We usually have someone contact you with any questions, always in email format because we like to-do lists. And then once we go through the to-do list and it's prepared, the return goes to a reviewer. So the reviewer goes back and rechecks all the facts, all the numbers, and make sure that everything's in the place it should be. So not only do you have someone prepare it, you have someone review it. So that's a double check on our side, so that we have a good quality tax return that goes out. Once the tax returns have been reviewed, they do come to my desk and I look at them for tax planning purposes. usually call, let you know that they're ready, and chat with you for a few moments and see if you have any questions. Once you come in, you're welcome to sit down and we can walk through the return and make sure that you have all your questions answered and make sure that everything's in the return as it should be. At that point, you sign it and we e-file it with the IRS. And we do have it that if you give us your email addresses, we can actually have you e-sign it in the comfort of your home. And that makes your life just that much easier.
That's awesome. So Wendy, I want to thank you very much for all that you've already contributed. I've learned a lot today from you personally, and I really am excited about having you be my business spotlight on the blog here. And of course, I'll post contact information for you. Tell us where to find you, of course.
We're located off of Pillar Parkway, just east of the town center. We are in the Granite Building, and our hours are from 9 to 5. And you're welcome to call us at any time, ask questions. If you need a consultation, just call, and Lisa, my admin, will be glad to get you on the calendar at a time that will be convenient for you. If you have any questions at all, just let us know. We're glad to help you.
Perfect. Well, it was great fun interviewing Wendy Ezell, and I learned a lot, and I hope that you'll reach out and connect with Wendy to learn more about how she can help you with your accounting needs. I would also just like to mention that if you are a local business owner or you would like to recommend a local business owner to be my next featured spotlight, please connect with me. You can subscribe to my blog, you can visit me on my Facebook page, you can always email me, or you can just pick up the phone and call me the old-fashioned way. I hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of my local business spotlight. I'm Lisa Creed with Fort Worth, Texas Real Estate.